If you have social anxiety, there's a good chance you've already tried things that didn't work. And at some point, maybe recently, you started wondering if you're the problem, if you're just wired differently, if this is just how your life is going to be. Before we do anything, I need to tell you something. You're not broken. You're not resistant to treatment. You just haven't had someone set this up properly for you. That's what this series is. Over 8 videos, I'm going to walk you through a complete virtual exposure program for social anxiety, one session at a time. But before we touch a single piece of exposure content, I need to explain what's actually happening in your brain, why this works, and critically, what to do so it actually works for you. Because here's what I've seen happen. Exposure therapy doesn't fail because the approach is wrong. It fails because no one explains the framework first. People stumble in, feel terrible, white knuckle through it, and walk away thinking this isn't for me. That's not going to happen here. This is the thing that changes everything. Let me give you the one reframe that makes everything else in this series click. Most people believe the goal of anxiety treatment is to feel less anxious. I get it. It feels terrible and you want it gone. But when it comes to exposure, that instinct works directly against you. Across 10,000 sessions working with anxiety, here's what I can tell you. The people who make the fastest progress are the ones who stop treating discomfort as the enemy. Because the discomfort isn't a side effect of exposure. The discomfort is the mechanism. Your amygdala doesn't respond to logic or reassurance, not long term at least. You can't think your way out of it. What it responds to is experience, specifically feeling anxious, which means it's expecting danger to happen, staying in it and discovering that the danger didn't happen. Every single time you do that, your amygdala gets new data it can understand. The threat prediction updates. The automatic anxiety response shrinks. From this point on, every time you feel that spike in a session, I want you to reframe it. That discomfort means it's working. What virtual exposure actually is. Virtual doesn't mean pretend. It means using carefully chosen stimuli, words, images, sounds, video, to deliberately trigger your anxiety response in a controlled setting. So you can practice staying in the discomfort instead of escaping it, and thus disproving the danger. Here's the key thing most people don't know about their amygdala. It doesn't cleanly separate real threats from imagined ones. If I show you a photograph of someone staring directly at you with that evaluative look, you know the one, your amygdala responds. Your heart rate shifts. Your threat system activates. That's a real physiological response, even though it's just an image. And that response is exactly what we're going to use. The content in this series has been designed specifically to trigger the fear of being watched, judged, rejected, and embarrassed. We'll start with the mildest possible stimuli and work up to the most intense by the final session. How to measure your progress. Throughout this series, we're going to track your progress using something called SUDS, Subjective Units of Distress. It's a simple 0 to 10 scale. 0 is completely calm. 10 is the most anxious you've ever felt. Rate yourself at the start and end of every session. Here's how habituation works in practice. The first time you do a session, your SUDS might peak at a 7 or 8. The second time, maybe a 6. Third time, a 5. The peak gets lower and it comes down faster. That downward trend is your amygdala learning. Write your N score down after every session. That data is your progress marker, the most honest feedback you're going to get. And if you're mid-session and your SUDS is still high, that's not failure. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. What matters is whether it comes down before the session ends and whether it's lower than last time. What do the sessions look like? 7 exposure sessions follow this video, structured from least intense to most. Session 1 is text only, phrases that social anxiety sufferers find triggering. Just words on a screen. That might sound mild. For some people, it isn't. Session 2 uses illustrated social scenes, recognizable situations, lower visual realism. Session 3 introduces real photographs, faces, groups, evaluation scenarios. Session 4 is audio only. Crowd noise, laughter, listen to with your eyes closed. Session 5 is observer perspective video footage. Session 6 is direct gaze, people looking straight at you, sustained eye contact. And Session 7 is the top of the ladder, the worst case scenario social anxiety has been warning you about. Don't skip ahead because the early ones feel manageable. The earlier sessions are building your tolerance for the latter ones. Repeat each session until your SUDS is meaningfully lower than the first time. Then move on. If you're working with a therapist, bring these in as between session exposures. If you've never done exposure work before, I have a video on building an exposure ladder for social anxiety. Watch that one first. The one rule. Last thing before we start, and this one matters, safety behaviors. These are the things you do during exposure to soften the discomfort. Looking away from the screen, turning the volume down, keeping it on in the background while you do something else, repeating reassuring thoughts while the content plays. I completely understand the urge. But if you don't cut any safety behaviors, you won't make headway with your anxiety. You're doing avoidance with extra steps. The learning doesn't happen. One rule, full attention, stay with it, no looking away. That's it. Session 1, the trigger word session, is the next video in this series. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.